Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Triple R Ryan's Real Reactions, and today we are watching another JCS Criminal Psychology video, Jim Can't Swim, and we're watching a video that is titled Guilty Until Proven Innocent. I would assume that this is going to be a case of somebody who was being charged for a crime that they didn't commit, and, well, we'll see how it works out in the process. That being said, as always, it's a brand new channel. We only have about 6 videos up, so all of your support helps tremendously to get this YouTube algorithm pushing us even more. Please consider subscribing to the channel, consider liking the video, and leaving a comment at any point, or even simply replying to somebody's comment or saying first. Anything to get it moving here. This channel is almost partnered already, which is great. I made this channel, 10 days ago, 11 days ago? We're already almost partnered. Thank you so much to every single one of you watching this and every single one of you that has subscribed. It means a lot to me. I'm enjoying this. I'm not some expert, but my goal with this channel and my other reaction channel is to just have, it's like watching TV with a friend. On my reaction channel for TV shows, this is like watching a YouTube video with a friend. I'm trying to just, give some unbiased dialogue, commentary, maybe make you laugh a little bit, maybe make you think. I have some decent smarts with me and decent life experience, but, don't take it too seriously. I'm just trying to get some entertainment to you guys and get some entertainment to myself, too. That's why I made this channel. I like watching videos like this. So I figured, why not see if anybody else wants to watch me do this? And so far, over 1,600 of you have subscribed to do so. So thank you. That being said, I'll stop blabbing. And I got a couple stories to tell throughout this about a couple experiences I've had, at least one. And, yeah, all the links are in my description for everything. My other reaction channel, my Twitch, where I stream 5 days a week, my Instagram, my Discord, everything's down there, including the original channel and video that we're watching right now. So let's do it, everybody. Guilty until proven innocent. JCS. JCS.
With respect to interrogation analysis, it's no secret the benefit of hindsight gives you a considerable advantage when evaluating information. When you know a subject is guilty, it allows you to exclusively look for guilty behavior. The knowledge of outcome highlights the imperatives while stripping away non-essentials. And this allows you to calculate certain things that would otherwise be overlooked by cause of your own doubt.
Yep.
Hindsight is 20/20. Everyone is...
Hey, so is my vision. Shout out to LASIK.
Is well aware of this aphorism. And what's fascinating is that it not only applies, but is far more compatible to the innocent than it is to the guilty. The reason for this is because the information you have to scrutinize is reduced when dealing with innocent subjects. When you remove the versatile factors of misdirection and trickery, you're left with relatively straightforward behavior and...
So if you're guilty, you have an artsy-looking brain. This is almost making it looking good for people who are guilty. Look like a Van Gogh painting.
Comparison. Of course, the argument that everyone is different and can react in a different manner has merit. Human beings are unique, and there will always be exceptions to every rule, especially when you take into consideration that trauma can cause atypical behavior. Yet, atypical behavior and guilty behavior are generally distinguished from each other with relative ease. And that brings us to example number 1. 37-year-old Michael Dixon, described by his peers as popular, friendly, but also unassuming and reserved. A self-professed introvert who turned down a job as a trade show presenter due to his fear of public speaking, and
nothing wrong with that.
Kept his position as a trade show assembler instead. On August 15th, 2003, in Hamilton, Ontario, police were called to report a man breaking into a jewelry store. 2 officers responded and chased the perpetrator from the store down an alley before momentarily losing sight of them.
That's like such a classic police chase, like that you see in movies back in the day. Like it always used to end in like an alley, a dark alley. Also, shout out to any Canadians watching this, as this is taking place in Canada. I love my Canadians.
At the same time, Michael Dixon was getting off a bus nearby coming home from work.
I was going to say, where's the Tim Hortons? There it is, right there. There's a Tim Hortons basically anywhere in Canada.
He was the first person the police saw when coming out of the alley and was then arrested home from word of them. At the same time, Michael Dixon was getting off a bus nearby coming home from work. He was the first person the police saw when coming out of the alley and was then arrested at gunpoint. Dixon voiced his innocence but didn't resist arrest and stated he would help in any way he could. He was taken to the Hamilton police station and questioned 2 hours after his arrest.
That's such a scary situation. Like, number one, they're already going to be making judgments because of the color of his skin, which is a shame, but just the facts of things. And you know, he just finished freaking work, like a long day, gets off the bus, and now you're getting arrested. Like, come on. Quick story that for me was one time I lived in a small town in South Jersey. Shout out to New Jersey. And me and my friend, it was like 10 p.m. and I was on my penny board and he was just walking. He had flip-flops on. It'll make sense in a minute why I haven't said that. And there used to be this old card and vinyl store that we used to go to when we were kids. And it was on our main street. And we kind of just were walking by and we saw that it was empty. So, you know, we're just talking about memories in there. And, you know, I'm looking through the glass trying to be like, damn, is there anything even in there anymore? Like, whatever. It had to be 35 seconds looking in there max. There had to be the most eagle-sighted Karen of all time who just so happened to must have been watching, because we look there, we turn around, I go back the other direction, we go into I'm skating through the parking lot of the post office, and suddenly, like a cartoon, like 4 cops come with lights and sirens and block us in. You know, and they have everything drawn, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? And so the cops are like, you know, let me see your hands, all that stuff. We're like, what's going on? First of all, I have a penny board. Justin Bieber here, my friend, is in flip-flops. Like, where are we going to run to? I can't imagine a getaway. And it worked out for me because I still was doing YouTube at that time. I had a parody music channel called For Skits and Giggles. It's still up if you want to check it out. And I was pretty known in my hometown. Luckily, one of the cops was like, wait a second, I know who that is. I don't believe he's committing any armed robberies. But somebody called in and said that we were robbing this old store, which is insane because we were just looking through the window. Now, I get it. Maybe they're, you know, neighborhood watch. But, like, you know, and that was a very scary couple minutes before everything went away. And I remember just thinking, like, that could have went a lot worse. Like, I was a very unassuming, unthreatening looking human being. In a situation like this, it can get even more dangerous. So I hope you're okay with me blabbing every now and then. I like telling stories and stuff, but I'm sure some of you just fast forwarded that. Oh, there's no music playing. That's a squeak.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Michael. It's okay.
One could advocate this as a common policing misstep if it weren't for the suspect being described as a small white man in the 911 call.
Well, I would say this is the opposite of a small white man. This dude looks like he's at least 6'1".
As well as not being white, Dixon is 6'3".
As well as not being white. That man is white. Yeah, no, he looks like a big dude.
This detective has either forgotten standard procedure to review the call to dispatch, or for some reason decided to reject it as evidence altogether.
That's crazy.
Michael is informed the room is being recorded, and then read his rights. He asserts he is willing to speak with a detective and help with the investigation.
Damn, 3 in the morning, too, dude. I'd be exhausted. Imagine, once again, getting done work, and now you're in a police station till 3 a.m.
Okay. Why we're here is because earlier tonight you were arrested for breaking into a jewelry store on John Street South. Now, your innocence and guilt in this, quite frankly, isn't an issue. The evidence I have is, frankly, conclusive and overwhelming.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not even going to ask you if you did it. What I have to ascertain here is what kind of guy you are.
He's looking at him like, are you good?
What I have to ascertain.
The subject maintains a forward-leaning posture and keeps his eyes both in contact and on the same level as the detective's. He displays self-confidence and poise, while it's the detective, in fact, who gives off a nervous disposition.
Also, that the detective's trying too hard to be like, I'm the authority here and we know you did it. Because we know. It's like, okay.
What Michael just did is known as a nonverbal challenge in forensic psychology. So let's break it down into components.
What I
In the next moment, the detective will shift in his seat to adjust his position, and at the same time break eye contact to look somewhere in this direction. Michael's exaggerated head
His crotch they're pointing at?
movement that follows isn't for the purpose of maintaining eye contact. He could maintain it while keeping his head perfectly still. It is in fact to let the detective know he is maintaining eye contact. It's a way of asserting dominance in the exchange. He is telling the detective that he is the more confident person in the room at that moment.
And it makes sense because he's confident that he didn't do it because he didn't do it. So you don't have to use these, lying tactics or theatrics when you know that you're guilty. I mean, that you're not guilty.
what I have to ascertain here is what kind of guy you are.
Okay.
Whether this is you're like a serial burglar and this is what you're doing all the time, or whether this is a one-off thing because of the power cut and everything that's going on tonight. That's all we're here for.
Okay, I understand your position. Like I say here, I didn't do it, and you've heard that a million times, I'm sure, in your career, but it's just, ask me questions. That's all I can do is answer them, I guess.
I've got no questions to ask you. I mean, why did you do it?
I've got no questions to ask you. Well, that's not great.
That's basically, that's my only question.
But coming from that position, and since I'm saying I didn't do it, I really don't have an answer for you except to say I didn't do it.
I guess we haven't really got a great amount to talk about. Yeah, it's like I said, whether you did it or not isn't up for the discussion.
Okay, well.
It's really not.
You've no doubt come to notice how incredibly tolerant Michael is over the unjustness of the situation. It's the most unusual thing about his behavior, and perhaps what makes him an anomaly with respect to innocent subjects. So before moving on to the second phase of this interrogation, we'll show you a more common response from an innocent subject facing.
I know that whoever they're showing next is going to be freaking out. Because that's almost the stance I would expect, would be like, dude, what are you talking about? I didn't do this. Like, are you insane? Kind of like just letting that emotion out. He's almost so calm that I feel like it's probably throwing the cop off. Like the cop's probably thinking, oh, this guy's good. Yeah, I've dealt with some guys like you before. Where in reality, I think what's going on mentally is he's probably just saying to himself, I know I didn't do this, and I know I will eventually be proven innocent through one way or another, fingerprints, anything, like something, camera, whatever. So I think that he's just calm in his understanding of his innocence. He has an alibi. His alibi can be his work, his bus fare, the cameras near the bus stop, right? Like, I would assume that he knows, hey, I will get out of this. Some people might be a little bit more frantic. Let's see.
Facing similar charges. This is 26-year-old Justin, falsely accused of breaking and entering, first-degree theft, and assault. He was arrested at his home and only read his rights to silence on the way to the police station. The footage will begin before the subject knows what exactly he is being charged with. In his mind, he knows he has done nothing wrong, and at this point is unaware he is about to be wrongfully imprisoned for just over 2 years.
Jeez. Wait. Okay, maybe I heard that wrong. He's about to go to jail for 2 years, or he's about to find out he might? This has to be an infuriating experience.
Justin, get that form. You know what I read you earlier? The 19th of February. 2 days ago, so it'll be Tuesday. Alright? About 5, 6 in the morning. Where were you at then?
I was at my mother's house.
I tell you what I'd be at any point ever in my life at 5 in the morning. I am asleep.
You call her and ask her. I was downstairs asleep.
There you go.
Did she know you were asleep at that time?
Yeah.
He doesn't see the interrogators as a threat, but more of an inconvenience. His responses are short and concise. He does not seek approval. He only responds to a question or states a point.
I mean, did she see you sleeping at that time?
Yeah, I don't never leave. I ain't
Was she standing over you in the middle of the night, sleepwalking?
doing nothing. I stay at my mother's house. So I'm not working. I'm at home.
Did she vlog you while you were sleeping?
You didn't go to labor ready that day or nothing, looking for looking for a job. Yeah. Okay. That morning, house got broken into.
Okay.
The detective's strategy is to reveal the charges in a periodic manner. Getting a confession to one charge at a time is far easier than gaining admission to all of them at once. The
Right.
plan is to reveal the break-in and robbery charge first, then reveal the assault at a later stage. The detective goes on to explain that the accuser named Candy said she
Candy is her name by chance. Candy Crush. A game that I've been addicted to multiple times in my life. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I am ashamed to admit I've spent at least $100+ on the game. I will admit I am ashamed of that.
She saw him loitering around her house in the evening hours of the night, and a short time later witnessed him break in and steal a multitude of valuable items. The detective then explains that she picked him out of a 12-picture lineup of suspects.
She says you broke in this
No.
apartment. Okay. Well, tell me why.
Justin is now aware of the burglary charge, which holds a possible 20-year prison sentence due to
Jesus.
previous convictions. He will now begin to forcefully assert his innocence, and each time he does so, will bring forward his posture and strengthen his vocal emphasis while making the assertion.
AKA, he's about to get loud.
All right. So I mean, she's saying that I was there before. Is that what she's saying? She's saying she's seen my face before the break-in happened.
Yep.
'Cause I didn't break in her house. I don't know who she is. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know no girl named Candy. None of that shit, man.
Why is she saying that you're?
I don't know why she's saying she's. I don't know why. I don't know.
What were you doing there?
I was not there. I was not. I don't know this girl Candy. The only Candy that I even heard of is this guy I know named Tim Stahl dates her.
I thought he was about to say the only candy I know is like M&M's.
The person he just mentioned was the accuser's ex-boyfriend.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
I know Tim Stoll.
I grew up with the dude, man.
The accuser's testimony was later picked apart in court. She was caught lying on the stand multiple times,
Wow.
and Justin was exonerated. He was
Good.
proven innocent not just beyond all reasonable doubt, but essentially beyond all doubt.
The last thing I heard about them two, she had him arrested for domestic violence. That's all I know about this girl Candy.
So Candy was like maybe purposely, trying to get the not I don't know if she did it on purpose, but maybe knew that he was friends with her ex and wanted to get back.
I never went in that girl's house.
Adam?
None of that shit. I didn't do that shit. I did. As God is my fucking witness, I did not do it. I used to be a piece of shit. When I got out of the fucking penitentiary, I told myself, "What, going back? I ain't done nothing but work my fucking ass off the entire time I've been out."
Can you prove, other than you saying you did not? Is it that morning?
He's starting to do I got the bouncy knee too when I'm stressed out. I don't know if anybody else had, but like when that knee starts bouncing to mine, that means I'm stressing. And I get it. I would be my knees would be bouncing so much it'd be a bouncy house.
What can you tell? How can you prove to me that you were at home?
All you gotta do is call and ask my mother.
So you're telling me you didn't step foot out of the house
Not 1 foot.
Tuesday?
Not a toe.
The detective then goes on to reveal Justin is accused of assaulting the supposed victim during the robbery.
Take a vanity mirror and you hit her over the head with it and you guys fight.
See, now that is a reaction that like you would expect. If you're innocent and someone says they got, hey, you hit this person over the head with a mirror, I think my initial response would be like, what? Like, I think I would kind of laugh, not because it's not serious, but because of how insane it is that I'm being accused. I'd be like, I hit someone with a mirror? What are you talking about? And I'd be like, check me for cuts, scrapes, where, what?
You got injuries.
No, man. And hell no, man. Get her goddamn boyfriend, Tim Stone, in here and question him about her goddamn injuries. Look at that straight right there. This sounds like it's a goddamn thing that fucking her boyfriend, Tim Stone, done fucking done something to her, and now they're trying to put it on me.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you, partner. Smaller queso.
I know that's what the fuck this is.
And look, that's why we're talking to you, okay?
No, this is bullshit, man, because I've tried everything in my fucking power to stay the fuck out of this goddamn fucking penitentiary shit. I did not do that shit.
And that must suck because he's already had previous arrests, so he knows he is subject to being questioned a little bit harder, and he knows that he is subject to being, you know, maybe looked at differently because it's like, oh, this is an ex-felon. And just because you're an ex-felon doesn't mean you can't better yourself and you know, adjust back to society, you know? So I can imagine the frustration of already having that build and know that, like, oh my gosh, dude, like, this is awful.
Man.
Okay. That's what we're talking to. We're here to investigate this, okay? That's why we're asking you all these questions.
I'm sorry for freaking out, man, but I didn't fucking do this shit, man. I'm fucking shaking. I did not fucking do this, man.
Justin had already served 3 years in prison for a robbery in his early 20s.
Oh man, that makes it even worse. Because these guys do not believe him.
He more than likely knew the reassuring tone of the investigator wasn't a good sign.
Yeah.
Although slightly more animated than the average person, this form of aggression is a commonplace response from the innocent being directly accused. He comes off aggressive, but in a defensive manner. He is not being hostile, but highly combative when professing his innocence. His conduct is totally justified considering the circumstance. When facing a considerable amount of time in prison for something you didn't do, this level of anger is warranted. So when compared to the forgiving composure of Michael Dixon, the extraordinary nature of his behavior becomes even more pronounced.
I really don't have an answer for you except to say I didn't do it.
I guess we haven't really got a great amount of talking about. Yeah, it's like I said, whether you did it or not isn't up for the discussion.
Okay, well.
It's really not. There's a number of witnesses.
Great.
One of
He's like, okay, let's talk to him.
them had a video camera.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Take
Well, that's
photo.
relieving. That's
So-
relieving, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So view the video camera.
I have.
Okay.
That's why your guilt isn't in issue here.
That doesn't even make sense to me. Because if I'm on the video camera, that doesn't make sense. You have a video camera that shows me?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm glad he's kind of calling this guy's bluff here. He knows it's not true, so he knows that the cop is lying. Like, the detective is straight up lying to him and using a tactic. I think tactics are fine, but when you're lying like that, that's not okay.
It makes perfect sense to me.
We'll have to, I guess, I have no choice but to get a lawyer then, if this is the kind of thing you're going to go through with me.
This isn't going to go away. You're charged with breaking in. You will be
I
charged
understand
tonight.
that. Okay.
You will be going to court in the morning.
Perhaps the most upsetting moment, considering the fact that we know this man is innocent. You can see the fear emerge in his eyes as he realizes he won't be going home after this interview.
Charged with breaking in with intent. Okay, that's what's going to happen right now.
He is noticeably afraid of what lies ahead, yet reacts to the situation with reasoning and intuitiveness.
Can I ask you something? Okay, are you just making this up that you have a video camera so you see how I react?
Yes. Oh, he's smart. This dude's smart.
Because it goes
No, really.
that if you're saying, okay, hear me out for a second, please. If I am guilty, as you believe, because you have me on video camera, then okay, we'll go through the procedure. But I'm saying, I trying to call your bluff here because since I know I didn't do it, there's no way I can be on the video camera.
Well, like I say, it's not a game of poker.
Okay, well,
I've got nothing to
I'm
gain
not trying
from
to give you a
that.
hard
No.
time, all right?
You know what? I've got nothing to gain from that either way. Which is why I'm not asking you, did you do it? I'm not trying to catch you out. I've got nothing to gain from that.
Getting a confession void
Well, you're straight up lying, so.
of evidence is in fact excellent for an investigator's career. It's a mark of merit and can accelerate promotion. Michael continues to profess his innocence in a calm and composed manner for a further 7 minutes. The detective then asks that he
Not funny, but like imagine they start playing like Hangman or like Tic-Tac-Toe. Michael beats the detective in Tic-Tac-Toe.
draw out a map and specify his movements before the arrest. Every detail of his alibi was later proven to be 100% accurate.
Like I said, on the information that I've got, you're going to be charged tonight with breaking in.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do have a duty to make sure that the truth is basically the truth is paramount, and the true version of events is paramount, and I have a duty to investigate all of this, and I will investigate.
Okay.
I assure you, I'll investigate this story thoroughly,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully, I'll be able to find something here.
It seems like that drawing must have made the cop go or detective go, oh, okay, wait a second. Like, that was pretty good.
Right.
Which will either prove or disprove.
It seems like he's changed his tone. Before it was like, I know you're guilty, just admit it, you did it, we have you on video. Now it's, okay, well, my job is to see if you're innocent or not, and I'm going to do my job. And so you could tell he's definitely kind of pulled back a little bit. I think there's probably some doubt in the detective's mind of like, yeah, maybe this is not a guilty guy.
Okay.
You know, what we've discussed tonight.
Kind of looks like David Goggins a little bit.
Problem is the speed at which this is going.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was on the ground, I was saying, go quickly to the terminal. I have like 6 or so guys around me. You know, like talk to the bus driver.
Right.
You know, like
I can't comment on things that
Okay,
haven't
I
been seen,
know,
unfortunately. But now I'm
left
kind of-
hanging, right?
Now
You
I'm
know?
looking at this. I mean, this is basically on the evidence I've got. This is the only course of events that can take place right now. But I will certainly make sure that this is looked into thoroughly.
Okay,
I
great.
can give you my word on that. That's my duty. That's what I have to do.
Okay, I trust you will. I was just wondering, can I make a phone call? Because I'm supposed to be at work at 8 a.m.
See, once again, another alarmingly obvious factor to me that this man is innocent. He just wants to go to work. You know, someone that's guilty of this would not be thinking about work because in the back of their mind they'd be going, oh man, this might, you know, either they don't have a job or they know that that's going to come to an end. He knows he's innocent, so he's just saying, dude, I mean, what the heck? I need to work. That's an honest thing to say, in my opinion.
You're not going to be able to be at work. Yeah,
I know I'm not going to be able to, but I like to phone ahead.
I
Like,
can
what
arrange that.
what a nice guy.
that you get the phone
Just
call
to
with
not like imagine you're falsely arrested and being charged for a crime that you didn't commit, and you still have the dignity and thought at 3 a.m. to ask a detective to call your work to make sure they know you can't come in. Like, to me, that's like the highest noble statement you can get.
someone know that you're not going to be at a place. Yeah.
So I'm hanging out in that room till 10? Or
No,
whatever?
we'll be taking you downstairs
Okay.
to a larger custody facility which you have downstairs.
Sounds fun.
Well, it's not the most pleasant place in the world, but it's only for a few hours.
Okay.
Okay. From court tomorrow, what happens there? I don't know.
Okay, well. I'm
And I
kinda
will look
freaked
into.
out,
I will
you
look
know?
into all of this.
I trust you will, yeah.
You know what should happen? Do you agree with me, guys? When something like this happens to a person, they should get compensated. And maybe they do, right? I don't know if they get paid out, but like there should be compensation to like the trauma this causes, the stress, the, you know, your work possibly thinking you're a criminal, your family, your friends thinking you're a criminal. Like there should be some sort of compensation that is paid out to like, hey, we're sorry about that. Not just like a see you later, whoops. It should be like, yeah, and then they get $50,000, or I guess maybe you could be able to. Would you be able to sue, the department or the state or the city, for some sort of, you know, some sort of lawsuit? I would assume.
Trust you will.
You know, I want to. I'll make sure we got the whole picture.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you, I guess.
Okay. You're not in an enviable position, and you know.
I understand the process. I'm not satisfied with it. That's what I'm saying. You know.
And I don't
And
expect that you're going to be happy with it.
You know, and I'm thinking, no disrespect to you, but I know someone sitting in this chair has probably lied to you a million times, right? So I'm thinking, what can I do to convince you? I try to give you the information. Like,
You've been very good with me, and I try and treat everybody as an individual.
See, this guy trying to act like the good cop now, like he wasn't trying to set him up earlier.
And my main aim is two things: is that you get your rights
Mhm.
that you're entitled to under the Constitution of Canada,
Mhm.
and that you're treated decently, and that the truth comes out.
The truth eventually did come out, but the suspect wasn't treated decently.
I
He was
bet.
kept in jail for 3.5 days before a separate investigator looked into his alibi witnesses and checked surveillance of the area in question.
There we
He
go.
was then exonerated immediately.
Good. And he should have been given money.
A civil trial ensued,
Okay. Answering my questions here.
and Michael was awarded $46,000 in
There we go. Past Ryan is now happy with future Ryan's information here. $46,000. Okay, that seems like good compensation for what he went through. How about the other guy?
punitive damages. The interrogating officer and 3 other investigators were all demoted and suspended without pay.
Oh, that ended so well. Oh, I love that. Yes. Oh, I love how that just ended. Look, I don't want people to get demoted and stuff all the time, but like, hey, if you treat somebody wrong and you don't do your job and you're basically judging someone off their skin tone or whatever it may be, cutting corners, not checking things, you deserve a demotion. Anybody know about the other guy? If any of my viewers could let me know, did he get out, or did they say that he got it? Am I losing my mind? I don't know. Maybe someone's like, Ryan, they said that. Maybe I spaced out, but let me know. But that's good. I'm glad Michael got out. I'm glad he got some money. That's how it should be. You shouldn't even have to sue, though. You should just be able to get money once you're proven innocent. They should be like, yep, terrible mistake on our part. Here you go. Here you go. All right, there you go. Another JCS Criminal Psychology video. I'm enjoying these. I like the way that they're laid out. I know that, once again, I know I missed some drama with this channel where apparently they uploaded like an AI slop video with AI voices and people went crazy, and I learned a lot of lore about this channel. Apparently they've deleted a lot of videos and things. I don't know, but you know, the videos I've watched so far are good. So if you made it to the end, if you're one of the few that have made it to the end, if you have not already subscribed, please consider doing so. Help grow this new channel for me. Please give the video a like if you do not mind. It is free to do all those things. And then a comment. And like I said, if you have nothing to comment, you know, maybe look to reply to a comment or just anything, because I've been doing a lot of reading on growing new channels, and it seems like the comments are a very large portion of where growth comes from. So it does. I'm just trying to get everyone in the habit to get in the conversation going, and it gives me something to do. I read all the comments kind of like the morning paper. I wake up, I look at every comment, and you know, it's just interesting to me. So that's it. All the links are in the description. My Twitch, where I stream 5 days a week, is in there. My reality TV show reaction channel, all that stuff, whatever you want to click on. That's it. Appreciate you for watching. Thank you for being here on Ryan's Real Reactions, Triple R. And I'll see you right here very soon. Peace out.